Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. United Community Bank, an independent family-owned and operated bank committed to empowering customers to achieve their financial goals. Member FDIC. Frazee Family Foods, what a hometown grocery store should be. Friendly staff, family-owned, and a wide variety of groceries to fulfill your needs.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and I'm up here at the Frazee High School, District 23, Kaotic Robotic Room with Andy Paulson. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Hank. How are you doing today?
I am doing tremendous. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for coming today.
See, I like your blue shirt and all these blue things behind us.
You know, the blue and orange has kind of gotten a little popular in the school lately with all the competitions and the hype that's been generated with robotics around here.
I can believe that, especially looking at behind me at the banners.
Yeah, it's been a really good year this year. This fall we competed in the conference championship. A lot of the teams in the northern part of Minnesota get together and are part of a conference. We competed in Cass Lake, Minnesota. There were about 25 teams there. We placed first there, which was great. And then just this winter we started a new game. In January we had 6 weeks to design and build our robot. We started in the beginning of January and we competed the first 2 weeks in March. We went to Grand Forks the first weekend. There were 50 teams. Some were from Missouri, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all over. We ended up ranking 4th there in the preliminary rounds out of the 50, but did end up winning the whole competition at the end. So it was a really neat deal for us to win in Grand Forks. And then the following week, we moved on to Duluth, where there were 63 teams from the area, from the local states. And we ranked first there at the end of the preliminary matches, and we ended up winning the whole thing there as well. So it's been a really, really good year for us.
Now, when you went to Grand Forks, how many kids went with you?
You know, we have a really young team this year. Our team consists of 32 students in grades 7 through 12, but only 5 of them are in grades 10, 11, and 12. The other 27 are 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. So we have a really young team, and we have a bright future ahead of us.
Wow, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, you know, especially since you're competing at the level you're competing at now.
Yeah, you know, the kids have really embraced the program. I have a couple of really good seniors this year, and they're going to be really hard to replace next year. But that's what I said last year, and the seniors this year stepped up really well. My 9th grade group, there's a lot of students, and they'll step up and be really good next year. And having the training that they have, most of my 9th graders, this is their 3rd year being in robotics already. So by the time they're a senior, they're going to be really well versed in all of the aspects of robotics.
Now, when the kids get done with school here, where can they go to continue on in the robotic field? You
know what? People think that robotics, that's a 4-year degree, and you have to go to a university and get a bachelor's degree in engineering in order to do anything with this. Well, that's not true. I've had a lot of students actually go into a 2-year technical degree. We've been really fortunate to be able to work together with a lot of industries, Team Industries and BTD. They've worked a lot with our students and been sponsoring our teams. What they're willing to do and what they're realizing is they need to train these students in high school and get them on board. So we've had 3 students over the past 5 years that have been able to go to college, whether it's machining and tool or drafting or robotics, and getting degrees and jobs. And a lot of these kids are getting their school paid for by these programs as well.
Well, that's excellent, because, you know, we're always trying to figure out where are children heading down the road. And when I look at this program in particular, it's quite a bright future for them.
Yeah, and like I said, people think that engineering is the path to go. The drafting and the design aspect is a great path, but some of these kids are realizing that they can learn some of the business and marketing skills as well, because I've got some kids that never touched the robot, but they're into talking with the judges and marketing our program, doing our fundraising, and maintaining a logbook of where our expenses are. So there's a wide range of things that these students are doing.
Well, this is tremendous. And we're going to take a break right now for you people out in TV3 land, and we'll be right back with Andy Paulson at Kaotic Robotics.
Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. The City of Frazee and Frazee Event Center, featuring a 5,000 square foot room, a built-in stage, and a full-service bar, perfect for a multitude of events. Call or click to book your event. Frazee Community Club, people and business coming together to make the community fun, friendly, and thriving. Become a member and help support your community. Frazee Vergas Forum, locally owned and operated, bringing you news for the Lakes area in print or online. Subscribe today FrazeeForum.com.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm up here at Frazee High School, District 23, with Andy Paulson and the Kaotic Robotic Project, and we've been just talking about how they have been doing, and you're getting ready now to go to...
Yeah, so since we won in Grand Forks and we won in Duluth, we've earned the right to go to the World Championship held in Detroit, Michigan. From April 24th through the 28th, there will be 400 teams from around the world. There's 35 countries globally that participate in this program. All over, they will be coming into Detroit, and we will be competing. We'll be divided into 8 different divisions, and we will compete for the title of world champion. So to our left, we actually build 2 robots. When you learn the game, you build a robot, you compete with it, and at the end of the build, you have to bag it up so that you're not working on it after the time that you're allowed. So what we do is we build a practice robot as well. This is our practice robot, which allows us to kind of do a little bit of a testing with it. Once we won in Duluth, we had to ship our robot to Detroit to make sure that we weren't making illegal modifications. The game this year takes these, they call them a cube. Inside of this fabric is a milk crate. It's just a classic milk crate in there, and we had to score these in teeter-totters in the middle of the field. The one in the middle was about 6 feet high, and the one on your end of the field was low. It was only about a foot off the ground. So you had to be able to grab these and score them anywhere from a foot off the floor all the way up to 7 feet off the floor. So for our design, we decided that we would take and have these wheels, these arms open up, and the wheels spin to grab the cube, which will bring it in and suck this in place and grab it and hold it in place. After it's held in place, our arm actuates and it will lift up and it will grab these cubes, and we can score them at different ranges in between here. Finally, we can also raise all the way up by raising this elevator all the way up. When it's all the way up, it goes all the way to here, and we can reach upwards of 8 feet in the air. So it allows us to have a wide range of motion, and we can do a lot of different things with this. Now, in addition to this, we wanted to be quick, but we also wanted to be powerful. So our gearbox, we have a shifting drivetrain, just like what you would in a car. So if we want to go fast, we shift it into high, we drive really fast, and we're maneuverable. If we need to push people around, because when you compete, there's 6 robots on the field at a time, we can shift it into low gear, and we can push our way through if we needed to. So it's a neat feature that we have on our machine. At the end of the game, the robots have to climb up a rung that's in the middle of the field. That rung is 7 feet off of the ground. So what we have on the back of our elevator are these hooks. When we lift up our elevator, the hooks are able to go up and grab onto the bar so that we can lift our robot off of the floor and be considered climbed. We're a really well-rounded machine. One of the weaknesses that we have is that you get extra points if you can climb a lot of robots at a time. You can see the machine is fairly large. It ends up being about 120 pounds. It's a big machine, and the rung that you can climb on is only about 18 inches long. So to try and get multiple machines up on the same rung is very difficult. So on the back side of our machine, I'm just going to swing this table over. We've designed these bars so that a robot could drive onto us, and then when we climb up, we'll bring another robot with us. When the match starts, these bars will start in the machine so it won't be in the way. We hope to get this mechanism put onto our machine in Detroit. We'll see what happens. We have a lot of changes to do and only 4 hours to do it once we get there.
Well, this is a tremendous thing, and it's really great to have you on the program, Andy, and I'm looking forward to hearing how this comes out. And then, when you look at the cost factor on these things, how much do you raise, in funding for these projects?
It ends up being pretty expensive. Just to go to one competition and get a base few parts, it's $5,000. To do an additional competition, it's $4,000 more. There's a big production value. When you compete, you're not in a small high school gym, you're in a big arena. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure what they do is they have it at a higher expense to cover some of those costs. We've been working really hard to develop partnerships with places like BTD and Team. The University of Minnesota has sponsored us, and they've given us money as well. And then we're actually hosting a fundraiser this Friday at the high school gym to help with some of those funds as well.
Well, I really appreciate you being on the program and keeping us informed on this, Andy. And we look forward to you, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Hank. I sure appreciate it.
And with that, remember, pet the dog, hug the kids, kiss the wife, and wave at the neighbor. Because the next person you wave at could be Andy. And we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee.